Hi everyone, greetings. I'm Navin here. I teach in the category of bank exams, especially English language. I hope you must be going through the beginner course on SBI Clerk 2021. Exactly. The same sequel of the course is being again published for you people to get an edge over the mains level of examination. Yes, now the time has come where we must prepare for the mains level. So here we are once again back with the beginner course. As you can see, the journey starts from the sentence completion to the reading comprehension. What I have been teaching in the last 1.5 years, I have been taking the extract from the newspaper, right? The topics which I am covering is bank, finance, and economy. So that you must be familiar with the contextual part of the words and the grammar and all reading comprehension based on those topics. So let me get started. The topic which I generally cover is based on reading skills, as you must be all aware about. Out of 40, most of the questions will cover from directly from reading skills. So the topics as such are, as you can see on the front screen, the topics are parajumble, pillars, starter connectors, RC based questions, odd one out, logical coherent paragraph, and inference. Now, when we specifically talk about the mains examinations, the main topics that are being covered are based on reading skills on these topics. So as you can see, I'll be giving you more insight about the reading based question paper today, because in the beginner part, 6th, 7th, and 8th, moreover, we will be analyzing the higher dimension of reading skills from the given passage. Now, the concept which I teach is known as proactive skills. What we generally do, we need the sequence of sentence with each other by the concept of proactive skills by using different logical words with the help of different structures. So the structures in the paragraphs are idea transformation, similarity, example, cause and effect, reiteration, action sequence, contrast. So in all such dimension of reading skills, let that be RC, let that be closed test, let that be parajumble, coherent, or inference, everywhere, what you will be finding that entire sequence of sentences are connected through these structures. Now, again, these concepts will only be applied in the given questions as such. Now, these all will give you an insight to how different structures are organized in the different paragraphs. Now, these topics are very common in reasoning as well: argument, assumption, inference, and conclusions. The same topic is being applied when we speak about the higher dimension of reading skills. So, somewhere down the line, most of the questions are made in error part based on the assumptions. What the generally student does, they assume anything on their own after reading passage. So make it very clear, there is a clear difference between argument, assumption, inference, and conclusions. So these detailed course has been there in my DCS, that is doubt clearing sessions, course on the doubt clearing session running on Saturday and Sunday. But yes, these topics generally cover in the mains part. That's why I have taken the priority of these topics in the coming sessions. So the beginner course part 5, part 6, part 7 will be more emphasized on the part of inference part. So in the coming particular classes or sessions, we'll be analyzing more questions from the inference. As you can give an example, what the inference are. Basically, inference is reading between the lines. That best summarizes what is meant by an inference that it's called as. So this is an implied idea. So you might be all, if you can describe about mathematically, the general expression says, it can be like if you say an expression is like A equal to B and B equal to C, then by default, the next expression that we can decode is A equal to C. So this A equal to C expression can be called as inference. Now, we can apply this the same thing in the given paragraph. As the instruction says, read the following passage and then answer the question that follows. So the real question says, which of the following statements generate the most appropriate inference of the above paragraph? Now, let's proceed with that. Two recent World Bank studies on India's rapidly depleting water resources have caused quite a stir. That is what quite a disturbance. Is the meaning of this is that there's a great commotions between the studies. Now, the particular statement says there are two recent World Bank studies. So, two recent World Bank studies can be prioritized. Now, the next sentence says more interesting is how water seems to have become the new focus area of the bank's assistance. Now, the World Bank is more focused towards in the water management part, as the example says. The first part says from 1919 04 to 2005 and 8, the money allocated to this particular criteria has increased. So the first study says that money allocated has been increased. Now, can you see the word here is the logical word also here? So the two studies are being indicated. The first study says that World Bank assistance to this particular category has increased in terms of monetary part. The second statement is being added by the logic of also. So these two points are being added by the logic of also. What the particular context of also says, Within water also, more money is going to rural water, rural water, large hydropower projects, water resource management in the poorer states. So these two things are being categorized, that how World Bank is more focused towards water management. Now, just remember the question. It's very important. As the particular statement says, most appropriate. Now, it means there must be more than one inference in the given question. Yeah, exactly. There must be more than one inference in the given questions. What we need to identify, which one of the following is the most appropriate. So be careful, guys. This is what generally aspirant does mistake. So what we need to understand, whenever the instruction says most appropriate, then you have to think wisely that there may be one or more options like inference, but we have to choose the best option as an answer. So can you imagine here, the first option says the World Bank assistance to India developing water resources has increased more than 4 times. Now by default, this can also be the inference, because you can just imagine it is 700 million in 1904 and it has increased to 3.2 billion. So by default, we can say it's a fourfold. This can also be an inference. Now we have to just account these two studies. So by the logic of these two studies, any good and most appropriate inference can be decoded. What can we see? India's water resources are depleting. Now, it is in the general sense, it is not categorizing the rural part, but see the third option says poorer states of India require a larger fund for water resource management projects such as rural water and large hydropower projects. So this is one of the best, according to me and according to option as well, because it summarizes the both these 2 points, the first point and the second point. And by the logic of these 2 points, we can easily decode that C is the most appropriate inference of the given passage. The D says the two World Bank studies on India have caused a state. Now, see, definitely it is there. So this can also be inferred. Water conservation and water management proposals have stirred the greater demand in allocations. So this is out of the context. So the right option according to the given expression is option C. So guys, these questions are generally being done mistakes by the students. So be careful after reading the inference, what after reading the instruction, what the instruction is trying to say. They are asking you the most appropriate inference. So remember this particular concept, because most of the student commit mistake by the logic of assumption, by the logic of conclusion. We have to choose the most appropriate answer as an inference. So that's all for today, guys. See you all there in the classes in the beginner course of higher dimension of reading skills. All for today. Thank you.